Alrighty, Super Benny here, and today we're talking about this little surprise announcement of Summerfest. We watched some of those new game trailers. I mean, we've just literally had a Sony State of Play, so there's a lot of like game news coming out. I think there's like an Xbox presentation soon as well. So it's just non-stop for sort of games, and September's like slowly becoming like a battle royale for game developers. I think people are really worried about sort of trying to release too close to GTA. So there's been so many announcements and so many cool sort of up and coming games that are coming out. There was also like literally a couple of days ago, God of War, a new sort of game for that. There was Rayman, Dave the Diver, and loads of cool stuff. More looks at Wolverine. We've already had James Bond this year. We've already had Resident Evil, Requiem. So it's been a fantastic year for like game announcements and some of the new games in here. Let's just jump into them and have a little chat about them as well, because straight off the bat they introduced Code Veronica for Resident Evil, which is a remake that I've been, I absolutely love the original. I love playing it on the Dreamcast, PlayStation 2. It's a fantastic one. It's underrated. It's not one people kind of know about as much like the Outbreak games, but it's well worth a slog through, and it's needed an update. I don't know if you remember back in the day, some of, trying to get through sort of the puzzles and that and getting through the metal detector. Some of the puzzles can be tedious, but yeah, it's a fantastic story. And once you get to the end boss, it's very cool and it's brilliant. You meet up with your brother and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, it's really good. It's really good. I really like it. I really rate it. Um, and it's a fantastic one. It's to have a remake of that is just unbelievable. Um, that really sets up like a fantastic library of Resident Evil games here on like your modern day consoles. So you've got nearly everything from 0 to 9 now, adding in Code Veronica as well. Oh, amazing, amazing. More amazing news was we got a continuation of the Stellar Blade series. Now, I actually love playing that, but a year or so ago when I first picked up the PlayStation 5. Yeah, a really good game. It's very difficult sometimes. You've got to really sort of level up, and there's the bosses are not not too favourable, but it's a fantastic universe. It's great sci-fi action. They introduced a new game called, it's basically the second one, it's called Stellar Blade Blood Rain. It looks very good. Again, it's a bit more sort of more hand-to-hand sort of combat. Kind of get the vibes of maybe Gantz and that kind of thing, with like sort of guns or some powerful sort of futuristic weapon on the wrist. So yeah, that looked pretty decent. People are having a little bit of moan about it already, but whatever. I think it's great. I'm invested in it. I like these series. I don't read into too much of the rubbish, that kind of stuff. I just want to have fun, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? Um, that's very sort of interesting for me. That piqued my interest. Some more fantastic news as well. We've got The Wolf Among Us come out with some news. They finally sort of updated us and say, yeah, it's finally coming. Wolf Among Us 2 is coming 2027. And on top of that, it's coming a remastered one for sort of Christmas time. So yeah, so a nice little two-in-one. You're getting two games there. You're getting a remastered one for Christmas, and then 2027 we're refreshed and we can go and play the new one. So yeah, I love the Telltale games. Those kind of like episodic adventures and sort of making your own choices. I love like the Walking Dead ones. So the Wolf Among Us, I've played that back in PlayStation 3. This is how long they've been around. Yeah, it's brilliant to see. Me and the wife are very happy, and she's more happy to be playing that one. So that's sorted her out, and That's a little present for her going forward in the future. That's a pickup for her. We also had a look at, is it Gen Atlas, which is more about these futuristic robots. Still seems very much in development. There wasn't much gameplay in there. It's a unique concept, but what the gameplay may look like is still up in the air. Some more sort of Monster Hunter DLC. That new game got totally disrespected. I feel it's very got sort of its face sort of rubbed in the dirt kind of thing. But it's a good game. I played the demo. I'm looking forward to playing through some more of the Monster Hunter games and going back and playing the PlayStation 4 one and then jumping back into the PS5 and have a little good sort of play of that. I've just got so much going on, but yeah, I would like to go into a bit more sort of Monster Hunter. There's so many lot of little spin-off games and that people really love as well. There's new ones of those, so there's lots going on with Monster Hunter. What else was there? Crossfire, which is kind of like a movie type game. It looked all right, looked pretty decent. Seemed very sort of more story focused, and I wasn't too sure about some of the combat and I don't know. They said some of the executives were possibly from Naughty Dog or whatever they were trying to do or saying. Because I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't too much invested with that. Nothing. It kind of looked okay. Again, we need to see a bit more about that. Virtua Fighter. I think that kind of leaked maybe about a couple of weeks ago. Give a lot of sort of Shenmue vibes, running through the streets and combat and picking up sort of nice little story elements like that with battles and stuff. So that looked kind of interesting. I'm not too sure if that one's by sort of by the what are they called, GGG, the Rio Gagota studio, who's done Judgment and a few of these other sort of games. So it could be sort of interesting if they're going down that road. What else was the Blood Message? It looks okay. Looked okay. There was also announced they were doing Among Us TV show as well. Something there for the younger ones. Again, they was doing sort of Cuphead as well. They're expanding sort of that franchise and that kind of stuff. It's more kind of a retro style kind of game. I tried Cuphead. It wasn't my cup of tea, but I'm sure if you're a Cuphead fan, that might tickle your fancy. What else was there? Alien Isolation 2. Now, I've seen quite a bit of that. There was teasing that a bit more. Physical copies are coming of that soon. Yeah, so horror fans, if you enjoy Alien, you love Alien Isolation, yeah, that's coming out. So yeah, there's lots to be excited about, and it's nice to see a lot of games all coming out. And as I say, in the space of sort of a week or so now, we're finally getting the push of games. I mean, there was a bit of slowness initially with the sort of COVID thing, but now we're ramping up. And now you've got choices galore to pick for your games these days, haven't you? Uh, yeah, it's madness. There was like another little Star Wars game coming out. The Star Wars Racer looked pretty good as well. There was doing like takedowns and that kind of stuff with the pod sort of racing as well. That looked pretty cool. It's not, I'm not sure I would buy it sort of full price, but if it came down quite low as well, I wouldn't mind picking that up and giving it a little try. Maybe £15 or whatever, but I'm not spending 50, £60 or $60 or whatever you say, wherever you are in the world, on these brand new titles all the time. You kind of got to pick and choose what you want to play first, and then you can pick up these things down the line. Star Wars Racer 1, probably day one, not really, but it looked fun. So yeah, looked fun. More sort of racing bits and bobs, Sonic Racing. I thought this was pretty cool. They had Evangelion coming into like sort of their team pass and that kind of thing. So there's more sort of characters that join them. There's like Turtles. There's loads of different franchises that jump in. So they're going to have Godzilla and Evangelion. So seeing some of those sort of stages in there. yeah, look really, really cool. Yeah, hopefully in the future they'll do like a kind of bundle that it's all come together, much like sort of Street Fighter. Buying Street Fighter sort of day one is a bit pointless. I think it's about year 4 now, which they introduced. They're going to be adding some even more characters to it. There's already a copy out of Street Fighter 6 years 1 and 2, but at this point, you may as well get the Ultimate Edition when that finally comes out. They introduced even more characters this time around. Apparently, Tifa from Final Fantasy is going to be one character, which is a bit bizarre. They've also got, some King of Fighters characters in there, so the roster's looking pretty huge for Street Fighter 6. So it looks pretty sick there. So exciting little news, Tifa in Street Fighter 6. Staying on sort of an anime sort of little thing, Attack on Titan 3 got announced. I quite like a lot of anime games. I did a video about lots of cool anime games, and Koei Tecmo have got Attack on Titan 3. Yeah, it looked okay. I mean, you kind of know what you're getting. If you're a big fan of sort of anime and that kind of thing, you'd be absolutely buzzed about it. Yeah, it's cheap and cheerful. So not so cheerful, It's a bit extremely anime, but flying around, chopping the little big monsters and that kind of stuff. It's a good little one to pass some time. I mean, it's not triple A super amazing graphics, but if you're into that thing, you'll love it, kind of thing. What else? Stranger Than Heaven. That was like showing a few more little bits and introduced the showing they're going to have 2-pack randomly in there because it's all about sort of music and that kind of stuff. A very sort of bizarre little Sega sort of game they're going down that initially looked quite good, but it looks a little bit niche, I would say. And I'm not sure if it's going to appeal to everyone, but hey ho, it's interesting to see. And it might be a sleeper hit, maybe, kind of thing. What else? Sort of news. There is a new Saw game. I think it was a Saw game for the PlayStation 3, but it's not my cup of tea of films. It's not my cup of tea of video games either. Yeah, I just don't like it. Last Ronin as well. Turtles. Who doesn't love Turtles? A dark sort of Turtles adventure. Yeah, could be interesting. I think I'll be more interested in sort of the adaptation of it on TV or a movie kind of thing. How it will play out as a game is yet to be seen. They just showed a few random sort of screenshots, but it's interesting. It's Turtles. Could be cool. I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And then there was also some more Final Fantasy news. Final Fantasy 7 is getting like an open world where you can drop in from a ship and have more sort of combat and explore the world and going around. And for Final Fantasy fans, that's great. I'm not the biggest RPG fan, but I respect Final Fantasy as probably one of the best ones, the best looking ones. It's good. It's good fun. If I have time, as I say, I've got a lot of games to play and a big backlog. Do I have sort of 60 hours over the coming maybe year or two to get into that? Maybe in the future. But who knows? Who knows with that one? It looked interesting though. So if you're a big sort of Final Fantasy fan, I think that you'd be super pleased with that. It's a great one. So go check that out. There was a Gundam game coming out as well. That, looked pretty interesting as well. I always find it was a bit sort of complicated, but yeah, in Asia, Gundam's massive, isn't it? So yeah, that was it. Some more fantastic news, literally just after the State of Play, where we had some fantastic news about the God of War and all that kind of stuff. There's that other sort of video as well if you want to go check out that. But yeah, the biggest sort of news, Code Veronica Wolf Among Us 2, and what else was there? Yeah, Code Veronica. Oh, and the new Stellar Blade. Fantastic games. And going forward, there will be more sort of announcements as well, with like the Video Game Awards coming up. So that'll be absolutely buzzing. What a year for games! Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't be more chuffed to bits. I mean, Resident Evil Requiem, absolutely fantastic, kicking the year off. Getting Code Veronica is absolutely amazing for me. That's one of my favourite games. So yeah, what a fantastic year. And then to throw in sort of Wolverine, and then you got Tomb Raider coming out, more God of War, and then more games coming as well, possibly GTA at the end of the year. Ooh, ooh, it's exciting times. I mean, it's absolutely buzzing. Now it's just a kind of case of picking and choosing what you want to play. What a year for gaming. This could be like one of the best years of gaming we've ever seen. So yeah, just brilliant news all around. I'm absolutely, stoked with like that sort of presentation, and just this week in general for game news. It's been absolutely fantastic. It's hard to keep up with things, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing to be having so many options right now. But Code Veronica, that's made my year. So great times. Take care.